Carrie, I ain't had no sound this whole time. God dang it. Oh my God. I got you, Carrie. Oh my God. I forgot to add myself all this time. I've been dragging Paul J. Wilson about his shirts. Jesus, I said put a one in the chat and I didn't look for the one. No wonder I didn't see one in the chat. So let's start over. Jay Wilson, why does your shirt logo look like this? Why is it that your shirt logo looks like a bag of freaking flour? Why is it? Huh, Jay Wilson? Can you tell the people why? Jay Wilson, you came out here talking about trust but verify, but we are verifying that your whole logo situation looks a mess. Your whole logo situation looks like a bitch in a big hand. Why does your whole logo situation look like this, Jay Wilson? Jay Wilson, why you want to sit up and talk about you want to talk about somebody has a dead foot, but based on a motherfucker who's hurting their feelings. But Jay Wilson, more than the same person said the back of your neck looked like this. So since we're to believe them about your foot, then we're going to also believe them about the back of your neck, Jay Wilson. How about that? And the and that was not the only person who said that about you. Hold on, I got somebody in the back. Hey, Fates.
How we missed the whole? All we saw was funny pictures.
Do you see? Can you hear me now?
We hear you absolutely perfectly, but we ain't hear nothing from the very beginning until.
Girl, I look down and I see Very Carey. No sound. I'm like, oh my God. Anyway, girl, I'm sitting up here. I hadn't put myself up. That's what happened. And that's like put a one in the chat if you hear me. And that nobody put a one in the chat because usually it like comes down late. I am so sorry, people, but that was my mistake. I was sitting up here talking about how Jay Wilson talked about trust but verify, and he's sitting around here making videos holding the water of somebody who said the back of his neck looked like this. So Jay Wilson, since we're gonna believe everything that person said, we're gonna believe that your neck looked like this. Jay Wilson, you didn't trust but verify. The clearest thing on them t-shirts is unreadable, but somehow this mustache on this person that made the t-shirt is very clear. This mustache is the clearest thing that we see. We cannot juicycations. What is the S? What is the S for? Who is proofreading your stuff? Is it the same person that proofread that pamphlet that you put out with all those grammatical errors? Is that the same person who doing that? Jay Wilson, why are we got pictures of you and Mark on a charm and the charm is cut off, but you want to charge people $20 for it? Jay Wilson, where's the free gift with purchase since they did purchase sweets and everything so that you can have a free trip? Jay Wilson, why are you selling dog tags on this cruise? Where does that relate to you? Throw some bones in those dog tags, and then we'll relate it to you and that bony dog that you have that can't hold her ass up off the ground because she's so weak and starved out. Put some bones in the dog tag, Jay Wilson, and we'll better relate those to you. And Jay Wilson, finally, if you're gonna have a logo on these shirts, what is this logo should be about? The logo should be quite relatable to you. We will serve anybody, just like your mouth will serve any dick off a grinder or jack. That should be your logo. Forget all this long shit that can't nobody even decipher. Jay Wilson, is this more of your merch that you selling on for this cruise? Jay Wilson, you think somebody's gonna buy that? Is this what the people gonna buy, Jay Wilson? Keep it simple, Jay Wilson. We cannot read what's under the underside of that belly roll. We cannot even read that. Stays on the Concord. What the fuck that mean, Jay Wilson? Jay Wilson, that does not relate any way to you or this little boat ride that you have. This relates to you. We'll serve anybody. Everybody would know that means Jay Wilson. That's indicative of a Jay Wilson event. Face Yaya, You may not have anything to say about Jay Wilson's merch, but that's what I have to say about Jay Wilson's merch. Because Jay Wilson wants to sit up here and continue with his BS. And Jay Wilson, that barbecue shit, that shit is played out. That shit is irrelevant. It does not mean anything to me. So try harder, babe. Try harder. Face, what you
So,
doing? Hey, Deanna.
hey, Deanna, I'm just trying to figure out what happened that you and Jay Wilson got into.
Uh, I got more numbers than Jay Wilson. That's what happened. He did a live and he tried to drain my chat and he got mad about it. That's exactly what happened. See, Jay Wilson blocked me from his chat a long time ago because I was in this chat and I wasn't saying anything. You know, I was saying my regular stuff. Oh, you keep going and I'm gonna block you. And I wasn't even saying anything. And then everybody's like, what is he talking about? And then he said something else. He was talking about that Volvo, that used Volvo that he got. And then I said, well, the people, you know how he always say, well, the people are saying, well, the people are saying X, Y, Z. And I told him what the people were saying about that Volvo. And the people did say this about his Volvo. I said, well, the people are saying that Stomp Down bought that Volvo for you. And then he blocked me. So, okay, you blocked me. Okay. So I make my own channel. I create my own content. And then one day, he decided to go live up against me to try to drain my chat. He was unsuccessful. And then he decided to say, oh, somebody said that they over there talking about me. We were talking about serious topics on my live, and nobody talked about him not one time. And then he went off saying that somebody was over there talking about him. And then somebody came in his chat where he was telling that lie, and they said, she's not talking about you. Well, it don't matter whatever she's talking about. And then he had to go off real quick when somebody busted him on his own live that he couldn't drain my live, and then he decided to say he was the topic of discussion. Jay Wilson, you're the topic of discussion when I choose to drag your bumpy head ass. Motherfucker, while you sitting there letting people read the Old Testament in that motherfucker in bumpy ass neck that you got, all them bumps. I know that it's quoting the Bible. So many motherfucking passages and scriptures on the back of that neck with all them goddamn bumps. Bitch, I hope you letting the motherfuckers read the Bible while you down there bobbing on dick. He is a disgusting motherfucker. And he want to sit up and act like, oh, everything that this person say is true. Well, then if everything that person say is true of me, then Jay Wilson, everything that person has said is also true of you. Wouldn't you say, Yaya? Are you still there, Yaya?
Yes, I am. I had put myself on mute, so I've been having my phone was going off. If he says everything the person says is true, then apparently everything the person says is true. I never met any human with a mouth that was a total prayer book.
Yeah, exactly, a total prayer book. And speaking of prayer books, he could at least throw one of them old unsold jizz rag in and as a free gift with purchase. He probably didn't skeeted over all of them with all them randoms that he be calling up a grinder and jack. So that's what I had. So Jay Wilson has been calling for Ronnie Hugh, but see, he's not going to like it where Ronnie Q answers this. So he thinks that everything that is said about Ronnie Q is factual, but in fact, he's a clown.
I'm gonna slide
So,
on down.
yeah, go ahead down. So,
Okay.
yeah, that's all I have to say about the old loose booty pastor and his wide hips. And Jay Wilson, this picture right here that I have up, this is not an old picture. This is post gym. This is post cruise setup. This is post. I'm gonna wear a romper. I'm gonna take an idea that's 3 to 5 years old and do the same thing on my cruise. Jay Wilson, you going to the gym to look like this? Jay Wilson, you sitting up there chewing your liquids to look like this? Jay Wilson, you up on online sucking down all that water out of that bottle like you sucking a dick to look like this? Is this what you cruising looking like? See, this ain't no old picture. This is a new picture. I know you can't tell because all his fashions are old, but trust, this is a recent picture. But this is what it gives. This is what it's given. Yeah, that's post gym. That's the post gym body. Hey, body electric. What's going on? Hey, Dr. Soapy. Jay Wilson, I suggest you quit talking about barbecue because every time you say barbecue, you must be over there eating barbecue. Because everybody hear you eating while you on black screen, all that eating and chewing and sucking down food that you've been doing, and it is showing. Everybody see everybody see what the barbecue is really doing to you. Jay Wilson, it's a shame. It is a true shame when Dovey has a better shirt than you. You talked about Dovey all you want. Dovey has a better shirt than you do, Jay Wilson. Dovication. Get into it. Dovey home tours. Get into it. You may want to employ Dovey to do your shirts next time you have an event. Because Viv is not cutting the mustard. Viv is not doing the thing. So that's what all I have to give Jay Wilson. Jay Wilson is tired and through and pressed. So what I what I also wanted to talk to you guys about is anybody is welcome to come up if you want. I'm gonna move on to some real topics. I wanted to kind of touch on this live that has everybody up in arms and oh, I gotta do something. Sean Bradley shook the table. Oh, I gotta have a response. I gotta do this. I gotta do that. I ain't gotta do a goddamn thing. I just gotta sit up here and do my show my way. I'm not responding to any whistles for me to come out here and act a fool. But it seems like um, I'm convinced that Viv has special needs. I am too. I am as well. The only clear thing in that picture, in any of those pictures, were her mustache. That's the only clear thing. Dovey was giving an old nasty two step. Dovey was breaking it down. Dovey dropped it down to the floor and brought it back up too. Yeah, the only thing that I have to say about what Sean Bradley said is like you did what you did. If we thoroughly enjoyed what you did. Yeah, we saw all everything that happened. So because you lost your foster kids and all that, do you think anybody else want to lose anything behind YouTube? Well, um that's your choice to continue until it got to that point. But everybody ain't out here to lose everything they got behind no YouTube and these little measly ass coins on YouTube or being popular in YouTube. Everybody ain't about that shit. So those who can do, but those who know better do better. So that's what I have to say. Hey, boss lady, how you doing? Hey, viewers of you. Sean got the girls mad. Yeah, he got some of them mad. Some of them mad crazy. They mad, but these are the same ones who were no longer in the beef sector. These are the same ones who was gonna build content and do things different. And then as soon as Sean come out, they come out like a raging, slobbering pit bull to attack somebody. But I thought they were building new content, different content. But then they just respond to the bell like a trained rabbit. Are you kidding me? Is that what we doing? No. Go ahead. Go ahead. Get your and talk about Pizarro has fake beefs. What the fuck you mad at? What the fuck you mad at? You build a new content. So why is Sean making you come out here slobbering and yelling and screaming and beefing with somebody? What the fuck we doing here? Yes, girl. I really need to know that. I really, really need to know that. So anyway, yeah, that's my question to this whole thing. People gonna do what they do. I was in Sean's chat last night and somebody told me, well, this is a B sector. This is not world news tonight. And I'm like, okay. Well, so people in the beef sector have no other interest than sitting up fighting and yelling all day. Is that their viewpoint? People in the beef sector don't know anything but fighting, yelling, and screaming, or people in the beef sector are multifaceted. and have other thoughts and have other things to discuss. See, that's what I'm talking about. Medium. Hey LaVon, how you doing? So this is something else that I saw that was interesting in the news. Um what am I going to talk about here? Okay. This guy from Burger King's. Did you guys hear about this employee who retired from Burger King with 27 years in Las Vegas at the Las Vegas airport? A black man. He had 27 years, retired, never missed one shift in his whole 27 years. And they presented him with a gift, and he opened the gift on camera with a big smile, and he had a empty Starbucks cup. He had 2 tickets to a movie. He had a bag of Reese's Pieces candy. He had some pins and other little knickknacks, and he had 2 rolls of lifesavers. So, what do you guys think about a job that you worked 27 years, never called in a day sick, a shift or anything. And then this is what this big corporation with plenty of money gives you. Yes, he did. Yes, yes, that is exactly what happened, Liz. So his daughter then put up a GoFundMe and she told the story. And they interviewed this guy on several different news outlets, and they asked him what he thought of his gift, and he said with a smile, I'm thankful they thought about me. Real gracious guy, real nice guy. And he just said, hey, I'm grateful that I'm able to retire. I'm grateful for their gift they gave. So his daughter started a GoFundMe for him and told his story, and just stated, he's retiring after 27 years, and they raised over $400,000 for this man to retire in some type of style. Now there is uh a push for Burger King to do better by this man. They don't appreciate you at all. They sending all these bonuses to the shareholders and the CEOs and all this type of stuff, and have no respect for the people who makes the money come, who ensures that they have the money. So I don't think that was even the corporation. I think of all that came from his co-workers. Oh, you don't even think the corporation gave him those little gifts? Well, it was presented like Burger. That was the gift from Burger King. I don't think it came from. I'm not sure. The way it was stated was that's what Burger King gave him as his going away present, and they had a card, and all of this was in a little clear bag that they gave this man. $400,000. It definitely is awesome, and they were very. And I like the fact that he was thankful either way it went, and I think that his attitude, yes, his humility makes it extra fucked up. Do better, Burger King. So yes, now there is a big push for Burger King to acknowledge this man who has never missed a shift in 27 years better than what he did. Now, I think that a lot of people and the reason he stayed with Burger King that long is he was a single father, and he had just gotten a job with Burger King, and then he gained custody of his daughter, and so they had good health benefits. So that's one of the reasons why he stayed with Burger King, because they had good benefits. And then his family grew and expanded. He got a wife and everything. So, and he put all 3 of his daughters through college and stuff. So that is the reason that he said that he stayed with Burger King that long. Hey Terry East, how you doing? The corporation could have done better. 27 years and only $100. I don't even think it was $100 worth of gift. Well, movie tickets are high. I think those movie tickets and that empty Starbucks cup was the most expensive thing. They didn't even give him they gave him a Starbucks cup, didn't even give him a loaded Starbucks gift card with it either. Ain't that a shame? You see how people do you? Now, I have a very interesting story, because now we can pick our news, and we can pick and choose our news. We can pick and hear what we can pick and choose what we hear in the media, and we don't have to hear things that we disagree. If he had worked at Burger King in Europe, he would have had a pension. Uh, you know, uh, the only reason that they had good health insurance, he may have a pension, because the only reason that he did have good health insurance is because this Burger King was unionized. So, I don't doubt, I don't know if he had a pension, but he may have a pension because that's why they had such good health insurance. Yes, he did all that for his family. So we can choose our news media. We can choose not to hear stories that we're uncomfortable with. We can just be driven with, and that's a big thing that's missing in the news media, like independent news outlets who, like, you watch CNNs, they recycle the same stories. Fox News, they recycle the same stories all day long. It's like, you don't. They say it's supposed to be more of a wider uh wider swath of news, but you hear the same stories all day long. Nothing but the same stories, and there's so much going on in this world, and they just hone in on one topic, one subject for the whole day. So that's why people are so disenchanted with the loss of, news reporters that would go out there on the grind, get a real story, grab onto the story, and investigate the story, and then present the story. And that's where newspapers fit in, and they do those things. So I wonder, did you guys hear about this Kansas City newspaper being raided? Let me hear if you guys heard about this Kansas City newspaper being raided. Anybody? That that plane with the Russian guys you're talking about? I didn't know that was shot down, but I heard that they had discovered some high up guy from Russia was in the plane. Hey uppity, how you doing? Miss Toby is saying yes. I saw the headline for it, but you guys, maybe one of you guys want to come up and give me more details of it. I did see that headline naming that one high up Russian official that was on that plane. Okay, so you never heard about the Kansas City newspaper that was raided. Okay, so there's this newspaper. While you guys decide if you want to come up and tell me about this Russian plane, please feel free to hit the link. So what happened with this? Let me see. He was helping Niger to get military equipment to fight. Yes, because because there is a uprising in Niger, and the U.S. and the West are against this, and I'm going to have to research this story, because I definitely know that they are mad that they are about this uprising in Niger. And because I did a little bit on the story where they had promised that they were going to get infrastructure, jobs, and everything if they allowed the U.S. to come in and build these military installations. And that's all the U.S. has really done over there, was secure places to shoot off their ammo and things like that, and send off their drones from this. And they gave nothing and did nothing for the infrastructure, and the people got sick of it, and they had an uprising. I did hear about that. Okay. Yeah, okay, I'm gonna tell you guys about the I'm not hitting you better hit the panel. Shut up. When I tell you can't hit the panel, that's where you can't hit the panel. Hey, Bird, I ain't think about you, Miss Toby. Hit the panel. Okay, yes, Ronnie, my local stations in my area have been all over that raid in the Kansas City newspaper. Yes. Okay, this Kansas City newspaper, they were approached to do a story about this lady who owned a bar, and she was filing for a liquor license, and the story came to them that this lady had a DUI, and she had been driving all over the little town that they're in, and she was applying for a liquor's license, but she had a DUI. And also the council member who was to approve the liquor license. Okay, after this story was presented to the newspaper decided not to run the story because they weren't sure where this information was coming from, and they knew that the lady was in a contentious divorce with her husband, so they decided against running the story because they thought that it could have been some shit that he just put out there, and they didn't fact check it to see it was true. They was like, nah, we don't even want to touch this. So their newspaper headquarters was raided, and they got a magistrate. They didn't get the regular prosecutor to raid it. They got a magistrate to sign a warrant to raid this newspaper and to raid the owner's house. Now, the editor of the newspaper and his mother owned the paper, and he lived with his mother. His mother was 98 years old, and they went and they raided that lady's house. They raided the council's member's house, and on the affidavit that approved this search warrant, they had nothing in that affidavit that was approved by this magistrate gave any reason to why they wanted to raid their newspaper and their homes and get their electronics and all these things. So I'm going to share my screen, and I'm going to show you this raid of this 98-year-old woman's house. So here we go. Wrong one. Let me go back. That was the wrong one. Okay, here we go.
Yes.
Calling Eric Myers.
Don't you touch any of that stuff.
Ma'am.
This is my house.
Ma'am.
And you
We'll be out of here pretty quick.
get them out of here. They're here. You done. Your mother loved you. You love your mother. You're a police chief. You're the chief. Oh God. Get out of my house. Your pet patrol. Get out. Stand outside. You can stand outside that door and you'll see him. I don't want you in my house. I don't want you if you do not take the what?
That's a business card, Robert has no
What?
Is there another one downstairs, another computer?
Thank you.
We never went down there and he stayed up here the whole time.
Well, that was yeah. What's he doing over there going through papers?
How many computers do you have in the house, man?
Well, watch this man block her. He's blocking her. He's holding a walker.
Well, they're working.
I don't care what
So
they're
you
doing.
can go on through if you
What
want.
are you doing? Those are personal papers.
Yeah, those aren't papers, they're electronic devices, which is what the judge said that we're supposed to take. Okay?
You people.
Okay, so that's it. So you saw that what happened. Okay, so they're taking the electronics. That dude stood in front of her walker, put his hand on her walker to hold her walker back. Now this judge who signed this warrant to go in, she was not the prosecutor. She was a magistrate. And the day after this happened, this old lady died of a heart attack. The day after this happened, this lady is now dead from a heart attack after this happened. And to add insult to injury, the real prosecutor that they went around to get this magistrate to sign the warrant has nullified the warrant because the warrant had no causes to have this home nor this newspaper raided in the first place. So there's that. So now the warrant has been nullified. But to put the cherry on top of all of this, the magistrate who signed this warrant, it is said to have had DUIs herself. So all of this stemmed from a business owner trying to get a liquor license and who had DUIs, who had to go before the city council to get her license renewed. And now and also this newspaper has been investigating the police chief. You saw the police chief standing there, and that's the one who she said, "Get out of my house, walk out. I don't want you inside." That was the police chief. This newspaper has been reporting on corruption in the police force itself. So I always like to talk about, how our rights are being trampled over. And when I heard this story, I thought that was really a shame. Hey Lex, how you doing? What do you guys think about that? Being 98 years old is really sad and unfortunate for her to have gone through any of that. Yes, gone through any of that. So now they are looking at a wrongful death lawsuit against the county and the police department. And I was just like, so many people's like, oh well, if you didn't do anything wrong, you shouldn't mind if they look through this. If you didn't do anything wrong, you shouldn't mind. But see, it just lulls you into the comfortability of giving up your rights. And newspapers definitely there is a specific clause for newspapers where they can't be rated like this. But this is what's going on in the United States of America nowadays. And if we don't keep a close eye on what's really going on in the United States, we are going to be dumbed down to this fanfare and propaganda that keeps your eye off of what's really important. And we're going to wake up one day and we're not going to have any rights. So, this is world news tonight in the Biish sector. Fuck you bitches. I'm talking about whatever the fuck I want to talk about, and this is some shit that really matters to me to talk about. So if you guys, yes, she was traumatized, and when you find out that there was no reason, that that warrant had no reason put into it, that solidified a reason for them to be raided, it makes you that much angrier, because they had no reason to go inside their house based upon the police chief thought that he could find evidence in there to prove that there was some conspiracy. That was what they put on the warrant. That what the police chief thought they would find. So there was no evidence to sign this warrant for them to go into that woman's house. So yeah. Just like I told you about the black guys in Mississippi who were abused because this goon squad decided to just bust in the house with no warrant, and they thought it was going to be all cake because they're in Mississippi and they have been doing this for years to people. Now they have all pled guilty to state and federal charges. They actually shot one of the guys in the mouth, left him for dead. They tried to assault them with a sex toy, had them strip in the shower, poured grease, chocolate, all types of stuff. Now they are in jail on federal charges and state charges. So you have to. That was a small story that didn't get around much. They were trying to keep that story hush hush, and that story blew up in the media. But it just kills me. I was on LSA one day and they were like, oh, they're talking about this, the Supreme Court, Clarence Thomas and all the gifts that he's been getting for free and not reporting. And knowing he's supposed to report all these gifts and getting all these gifts from billionaires who have cases that are going to come before the Supreme Court. And I was on Lipstick Alley and they were like, dang, CNN just covering this. Ronnie Q covered this like last month. And see, that's my point. See, CNN is covering not just CNN, like a lot of this media that is put out before you. And that's one of the things that about big markets going in and gobbling up little markets, because you start to hear the same thing over and over again, and the independent voice of the media is not able to be heard. The reporters can't run down stories. These reporters that you see on these big news channel, they're not going out and getting no story. They're getting a script handed to them. It's not like they're undercover investigating anything, chasing down leads or anything like that. They're coming in to work, being assholes, being divas, getting their hair and makeup done, sitting down at a desk, and they are prompted to what they are supposed to say. See, that is what we're missing. So yeah, so I like to bring different stories to you guys, and if you guys want to talk about it, you're more than welcome to talk about it. So does anybody have any information about that plane that went down? Yeah, you guys know what I'm talking about. Exactly, he definitely. But see, the Supreme Court has no rules upon what happens when you don't report the gifts, the free gifts and things that you've been given. So they say you're supposed to report the gifts that you've been given, but there's no penalty for not reporting these things. So they're leaving it open end that way because that's how they want it. So there's really no there's no punishment for what he's done. It's just coming out in the news, but they have no punishment set up in place for doing that type of stuff. So yeah, that's all I wanted to talk about today. I think that those are the three stories that I wanted to cover today. Yep. So I thought those were interesting things. So now we are to believe that anything that this good mind puts out to sell to his subscribers, and we are to believe that he trusts and he has verified all of this dog crap that he is sitting out here selling to his subscriber for his juicy cation 2025 and it's 2023. We are to believe that a sack of flour looks better than this Juicycation shirt. We are to believe that the logo on his shirt should be Juicycation. What happens at Juicycation stays on the concourse, and we are to believe that this would not be a better logo for anything regarding Jay Wilson. Will serve anybody. So that's all I have for today. And I thank you guys for coming out. I thank you. Oh, okay. I'll do this story next time. I want to talk about if you guys notice, like when they have these big hurricanes and these big storms, like that big fire that they had in Maui, you know that there are already investors. And I had told my husband this. I said, watch. I said, people are going to be going in there. I said, that shit going to look like Disneyland. I said, people are going to be going in there trying to buy up all that land and stuff to build these big resort hotels and stuff because all of that property is right on the beach. And sure enough, they have all these investors who are coming in trying to buy up all of that land on the ocean side, on the ocean front and everything, to the point where the governor says that he is going to put a mandate in where they are not allowed to change what the parcels are to be used for. They're not going to allow that, and they're not going to allow any big investors or hedge funds to buy a property. And what a lot of people don't know is that a lot of that property that people had built their houses on, they don't own the property. It's owned by other people. So it could be a case where they want to rebuild on the same property, but the landowner decides to sell it to someone else, so they can't build on it. But the governor said that as of now, he is going to put in place where they will not rezone the property for any types of resorts where residential property was and things like that. So the vultures are already circling. In they did that in Tampa at the is was it Ian? They did that in Tampa, Florida at the Ian, and a lot of people lost their property. A lot of insurance companies don't pay enough for you to rebuild, and FEMA caps the limit on what they're going to pay for you. As a matter of fact, in Florida, one of the largest insurance companies, and I don't know which one it is, has left Florida because they don't want to pay the flood insurance bills. They took your premiums, but they don't want to pay when it's time to pay out for the floods. Also, a big insurance company has left California because while they like taking your premiums, they don't want to pay out when the wildfires come. So the average man is really getting squeezed out by these hedge funds, by these ultra rich people, and these insurance companies are taking premiums, taking their money, and they're not paying these people back to make them whole. So it's a lot going on. So me, those are the things that I like to talk about. I like to add a little sauce with my beef, and those are the things and I am glad you guys came to listen to me talk about these things. And so let me see what you guys are saying before I leave. Well, what I wanted to say, if you have issues with the police misconduct, call 911 and ask for internal affairs. They investigate the police. Okay, uppity. Yes, they are literally stealing the people's land away from them. Yes, and Hawaii isn't a state anymore. President Clinton gave the land back the same day of the OJ. I didn't know anything about that. No. Thank you, Vesha. Thank you. I appreciate that. I recently learned that there's a Disney resort in Hawaii. I also learned that Hawaiians do not like tourists. Okay, Lolo. Thank you for being here, though. I did not know that happened. Oh, you think that it's farmers that left Florida? Okay, farmers insurance. Thank you, Uppity. Okay, and I thank you guys for coming out. I'm behind in the video, but I did hear about the Kansas newspaper. Yeah, that is really something. I mean, when you think about that type of stuff, how they are really coming for our rights and our liberties, and they want us to think that this is okay, and if you don't know your rights, it's okay to trample your rights. But see, that's why I just like put it out here so people can know these things. Yeah, and these big corporations, they have so many corporations that they are buying up new houses and new bills, new subdivisions, that they are saying that corporations are going to be the majority of landowners, whereas regular people are going to be destitute to only being able to rent property, because you have corporations like a builder develop a whole new subdivision, and you'll have a corporation come in and outbid regular people to buy these homes and buy the whole subdivision. So that's what's also jigging up the prices of housing and stuff. So it's a plan. It is a definite plan in place to put the middle class, whatever remains of the middle class, should I say, into some type of indentured servant type of role, and not being able to generate their own wealth. And so I hear a lot of people talking about selling their homes and things of that nature. And I think that if you're of a certain age, if you want to downsize, you look at D. Ramsey, for example. I look at Dee Ramsey and I remember when she spoke of selling her home and how quickly her home sold. When Dee Ramsey sold her home, it was at the crust of all these investors coming in buying homes sight unseen. People were standing in line to see open homes while the realtors were already signing the deal on somebody who called over the phone and made a high ass bid, and they still got people walking through the open house. So Dee Ramsey sold her home during that time, and then she went on to say that she was renting a home where the rent was higher than her mortgage. And I was like, see, that should let you know that you made a really bad decision. And then she kept on talking like it was a good thing. And then she went outside and she showed 3 brand new vehicles, something that depreciates quicker than anything. She had a brand new SUV. Her husband had a brand new SUV, and she showed a new Chevy pickup truck, and she said that was going to be her baby, and she's going to use that to ride around locally. Now, switch back. Now, fast forward right now. You hear that she's grateful for a super chat. She's grateful if somebody gives her money. That like basically like she is not financially solvent right now. That's what I'm getting from her. So you have to look at things through a wide prism. Like people will talk a good game and all that type of stuff, but if you have some equity in your home, if you have a home, I think that the best thing that you can do right now is to try to stay in your home. Yes, bad financial decisions, and like a new car, I would no no, I would rather have equity in my home and a place to lay my head than a new car. Well, you can live in an SUV. She was talking about, she showed herself traveling up the East Coast, and she was talking about how hard it was. She bought a portable toilet to sit in the passenger seat next to her and all this type of stuff. No, that ain't it. So, yeah, it's getting really sketchy out here. So yeah, those are the things that I wanted to talk about. And it was like real odd that people was like, oh, she doing the thing. Oh, she doing the thing. Oh, I'm traveling. I'm doing this. I'm doing that. All that is fine and good, but you have to have some type of balance, even in your spending, even in your recreation, because you don't know what's around the corner. You know where you've been, but you don't know where you're going. So that's all I got to say about that. That's all I got to say about that. You know where you've been, but you don't know where you're going, and you don't know what's around the corner. Look at this name. Look, I didn't realize I was going to click on this name, but thank you a lot for being here. Thank you, chat. Thank you, troll. You are right on time. I did not plan to speak on this, but it just kind of like made me want to think on this. So there's a lot to think about out there, and I hope you guys stay healthy. I'll see you around the YouTube streets. Thank you for being here. If you hit the like button on your way out, I would greatly appreciate it. I hope you guys have a great week. All right, bye-bye.